The bright lights of Friday night football are on here once again at Tomahawk Stadium in Indian Hill, Ohio, the home of Coach Kevin Seipel's Indian Hill Braves football team, who on this very delightful October 3rd, 2008 evening will play host to Coach Dave Huffman's Taylor Yellow Jackets in what promises to be another exciting round of Ohio high school football action, CHL style. Hi everybody, Joe and Andy's dad, Dave Prem, along with my old buddy, Bo and Joy's dad, John Cordell, here to give you the play-by-play for tonight's exciting game. John, we see the teams are set to go tonight. Braves are going to start off on defense, coming on off a three-game winning streak, and they hope to improve their record to 5-2. The Taylor Yellow Jackets are 2-4. They hope to do something no other team has done in the last 4 years, other than Finneytown in 2004, and that's beat the Braves in a CHL game.
No question, Dave. It's been a pleasure working with you, buddy. We've been doing this since guys were 7 years old, and here we go, buddy, in high school football. This is exciting.
Number 31, Logan Corman, kicks the ball and kicks it out of bounds at about the 7-yard line, and so Taylor will take a penalty and start off at the 35-yard line. First on offense, John. The Braves, we all know, have a talented offensive unit. Taylor, on the other hand, is struggling a little bit this season. They do have a talented running back at number 28, Youngblood. Their quarterback, number 5, Chris Schweikert, is going to have to step up his play if he hopes to move the ball against this talented Braves defense.
No question about it. As we've been learning about the running back of Taylor, he's the guy to stop on this team. I've walked in some of the tapes, and I'm sure the defense coaches have been working on this.
Number 5, Chris Schweikert, does come up in a somewhat of a shotgun on 1st and 10 at the 35. He's got 3 receivers split to the right, and it's a snap directly to number 28, Youngblood, who makes his way outside, and he's going to be able to get John just to about maybe the 39-yard line, picks up about 4 yards before he's knocked out of bounds. 2nd down and 6 for the Braves.
Yeah, good play by Taylor starting out, moving that quarterback. We watched, he can also run. But again, we've got a great running back on their team, so defense will have to step up.
Tackle on that play was by number 8, Wally Morris, and now Schweikert and his Taylor Yellow Jackets face a 2nd and 6 on the 39-yard line. Another direct snap to Youngblood. They're going to try that same play again, John, and this time the Braves are not fooled, as Youngblood looks like he might have lost a yard on that play.
Good swarming defense there by the Braves. If you notice, there were 4 or 5 kids on top of it.
Andy Prem on the tackle for the Braves.
I think my favorite player, number 23, Andy Prem, made that tackle over there, puts Taylor in a third and about 7 yards now, John. And the one difference between Chris Schweikert and Bo Cordell, Chris has got about 270 yards passing the entire season. Bo's got 1845. He's going to have to step up here. And he did a good job using his cadence to call or to pull the defense offside.
Yes, that's very good by that Taylor offensive by the quarterback. And as you said, there is a difference in the passing, but they do have that nice running game. As you and I know, we have a great running game also. We've been without Mr. Bauer for about 3 weeks now. And as we get going here, we've got Bauer hopefully coming back soon. And we've got, as you and I will talk later in the night, we've got a few more kids coming back.
A long 3rd and 7 is converted into a makeable 3rd and about 2 for Schweikert, and he's going to hand off again to Youngblood, and Youngblood makes his way into the Indian Hill defensive backfield, and a whole swarm of Braves get over there to wrestle him out of bounds, but not before he makes it to about the 47-yard line of Indian Hill. And John, you know, on that play, Coach Tyson, Mike Tyson, the defensive coordinator, is not going to be too happy that Youngblood, who's a talented runner, could make his way that far into our defensive backfield.
No question about it. He was following his blockers, and very nice. That's what it's all about in football. But as you say, Tyson will be after him.
John, it's 1st and 10 now for the Braves, or for the Taylor Yellow Jackets here, and Schweikert's going to go back. He's going to hit a little pass out in the flat, and number 85 for Taylor, Alex Ober, is wrapped up immediately by number 44, Max Hendricks, and number 24, Jay Schroeder. And it's going to be about a second down and 10.
Yeah, nice play by Max and Schroeder there to stop that play.
All right, now John, second down and 9 as they give him a yard over there on the left side of the field for Schweikert and his upstart Taylor Yellow Jackets. He's going to hand off to Youngblood again, and Youngblood's able to make his way outside, and number 2, Parker Bell's able to wrestle him down, but again he picks up about another 3 yards, and you got to tip your hat to this young man. He's doing a pretty good job.
He really is, but nice play by Parker Bell, staying in his spot, stopping that play. They've only gained about 3 yards.
Let me try to set our defense right now for you, John. Number 81, Jeremy Dolan. Number 94, Boyan Lazik are the 2 defensive ends. Jamie Lackman, 97. Nick Urashevitz, 99. And Josh Abbott, 47. Share time in the middle at defensive tackle on 3rd and long for Schweikert. He's out in the flat and unable to convert there as the Braves defense really on him, and they're going to bring up a 4th down and punting situation. You would think this early in the game that Taylor would not try to keep the ball because they realize how talented that Braves defense is.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to give the offense this ball right around the 40-yard line. I'd kick it, as it looks like they're going to, but they did move the ball a little bit, but our defense did stand up, and as you and I have been talking about all year, this has been a young defense, and they're getting stronger each week.
John, number 15, my buddy's kid, Josh Green, is going to hit the ball back to number 19, Adam Bell, and he takes the ball at about the 10-yard line, makes it up and wiggles around, gets up to the 20-yard line, and Adam Bell, number 5 over there, Chris Schweikert, the quarterback, does a pretty good job on defense.
Nice play.
Is able to bring Adam down after he gets only back to the 20-yard line. So now Bo and the boys are going to have the ball 1st and 10 for their first offensive series tonight.
Right. Speaking about Adam Bell, Adam's had a heck of a year this year. He's been doing a great job on the run back and other positions he's played. But here we go, Dave.
Number 18, Bo Cordell, the quarterback for the Indian Hill Braves, going to the huddle to give the instructions to his team for what he hopes is a successful play. I'll tell you a few of the players out there. 59, Roland Summer is the center. 71, Andrew Somerville is one of the guards. Number 76, Darius Spacek is another guard. Scott Porter, 63, and Charlie Brown, 52, are the tackles here on 1st and 10 as number 17, Max Hendricks, goes in motion and gets the handoff. He's going to make his way to the left side of the field for a really nice gain as he refuses to go down. Got a great run there by Sam Hendricks. I called him once before, but Sam Hendricks, number 17, shows his speed and his strength as he picks up about 20 big yards on our first play from scrimmage.
Dave, that's one young man that's probably one of the most talented kids on this Indian Hill ball team. And what a runner Sam is.
A little bit of a quick tempoed offense here for Bo and the boys as number 36, the sophomore, Reed Lockwood, who is replacing Nick Bauer. The injured Nick Bauer is going to fake the handoff and a pass out there in the flat. And this time the number 33, our man Teddy Bolser, who picks up about 7 yards on a good pass and catch by Bo to Ted.
Dave, how would you like to be D3 football, high school football, and have 2 guys, one 6'6", one 6'5", maybe 2 6'6" each end? Pretty awesome.
In addition to 33, Teddy Bolser, number 9, Kane Mears out there, number 19, Adam Bell, number 17, Sam Hendricks is going to catch the ball, get another Indian Hill first down, and for John Cordell, Sammy's really stepped up. He's had a couple of tough games where he's not been able to catch some balls that maybe he should have caught on that play. A good pass by Bo. Sam tucked it in and did the rest with his legs.
Again, as I said, he's so talented, and one thing I noted with Sam is as the game goes on, you've seen that in a lot of ball players. Once they get the touch of the ball, they make a good play, and then they just get better.
Bo's going to hand off the 36. Ross Lockwood, or Reed Lockwood.
Nice play.
Makes his way out to the outside and picks up some big yardage there, John. And you know, when Nick went down, Kids were kind of depressed and dejected because he's such a great running back, and this Reed Lockwood has stepped in and done an outstanding job for a sophomore to step in and get the number of yards he's got. You've got to tip your hat to him.
Tickled to death with Reed because I know that the parents and they're great people, and of course he had a great brother that played here that graduated last year.
Another handoff to Lockwood, and he's not afraid to go up the gut, picks up about 5 or 6 yards there, John, on a nice little play by the young sophomore, and the Braves are now going to be in a 2nd down and about 4.
Can you imagine being a sophomore on an offensive team that this team is, and to be able to step up how he has? Great job.
I called Jacob Bauer before Nick Bauer, and one of the great luxuries is Bo is going to pass out in the flat to number 9, Kane Muir, who's going to make his way in for the first Indian Hill touchdown tonight, John. A great little kick play there. Kane came in to the inside, used the outside receiver who had shut off the 2 defensive players, and then just worked his way like a thread through a needle eye into the end zone for our first 6.
Yeah, Kane's done a great job this year, number 9. I was watching him this year in the preseason, and we had a kid last year, Nicky Kariakis, and Nicky was a heck of a ball player, and Kane reminds me of him. He's done some great work. And
Kane I think, has the 2nd most yards of a receiver this year for the Indian Hill Braves, and shows why on that play. And number 31, Logan Corman, talented kicker for our team, John, makes the score 7-0. And I'll talk a little bit about Logan right now when the team switch out for the kickoff. You know, Logan was a soccer player last year and decided he split his time at soccer and at football, and decided this year not to play soccer, to devote his entire season to football. And I've got to tell you, it's really shown the progress and the improvement he's made since the beginning of the season. He is absolutely
no question about it. And Logan was quite a soccer player too, so that's quite a commitment for Logan to come here and do this for this team. You and I've watched it for the last 4 years. Kicking is so important. How many times have we been in the playoffs where we could have and should have, you know, if we would have had that field goal kicker or what have you. So real important for this team.
John, this kickoff is going to be brought to you by the Indian Hill Mock Trial Team. Their motto is, we're the best because we work the hardest.
I like
now,
it.
Logan Foreman gets ready to give the ball back to the 2 receivers for Taylor. Number 28, Youngblood, is going to do a reverse, and I'll tell you what, number 8, Wally Morris, was absolutely not faked out by that, as he came and took down the
what you call
runner. Right now, John, I've lost my...
It's what you call staying in your lane. Wally did a good job there. That's what it's all about on special teams.
I didn't see the number of the kid that got dropped. I know it wasn't Youngblood, because Youngblood handed it off. It was number 20. Thanks, Coach Schneider. That was Stephen Warren, and he's put his Taylor Yellow Jackets on the 20-yard line now, and Chris Schweikert with his 2nd offensive series has got a 1st and 10, and he's going to maybe do the old quarterback sneak, John, and number 42, A.J. Froelich brings him down with a pretty good game there. I said he was on the 20, but he actually started on about the 16. I think he picked up about 4 yards. A good run by Schweikert, 2nd and 6.
No question about it. Nice play by the Braves, just stopping him. Eventually, we're going to have to see, I would think, the way we're playing, they're going to have to do some passing the ball. But I know their game plan is to run, run, run.
Number 24, Jay Schroeder. Number 44, Max Hendricks. Number 42, A.J. Froelich. And my favorite player, number 23, Andy Brown, on a fumbled snap, are the linebackers who are able to swarm back there, John, on that broken play. Youngblood, tip your hat to him. He picked it up, but that was not how the play was designed, and all he could do was run for his life. And in there was number 81, Jeremy Dolan, who was led the charge to tackle him for a loss. It's going to be 3rd and long.
Good play by the defense. Of course, how many times have you seen it when you get a little mishap in the snap that turns into a big play because it throws everybody off? So nice job by the defense.
3rd down and about 7 now for Schweikert in his Taylor Yellow Jackets as Cameron Youngblood go out into the Slot on the side, and Schweikert is going to roll to the
Nice play.
left side, and another great play there by 81 Jeremy Dahlman as he was able to shed his defender and slide over and tackle Schweikert before he can do anything, John. And Taylor again faced with another 4th and long, and they're going to have to punt again to old Adam Bell.
Dave, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but
Who's punting?
81. My mind just went
Jeremy Dahlman.
Jeremy hurt himself about 3 weeks ago and went to crim check, and he's actually going to have an operation at the end of the year. So this kid's playing hurt, so that says something about Jeremy.
Josh Green kicks a good ball down to the 50-yard line, and the speedy Adam Bell is able to move up and get down to about the 30, and he squeezes over and gets down to about the 25. And you think Bell will take a 25-yard field for the second series, John?
I'd say Adam did an awful nice job there, weaving in and out. He's had a great season, and we'll take that every day, buddy.
Hey, John, coverage of tonight's game on Time Warner Cable Access Television is a presentation of the Indian Hill Television Network, also known as the IHTN. The IHTN provides the community with educational and school-focused programming through the facilities of the IRC, which is part of Time Warner. And every once in a while, they let two guys like you and me get up here and call a game.
Gosh, they don't know what they're talking about, do they?
Or as Coach Schneider says,
fun.
try to call a game.
I did not say a word.
First and
He did
10
not
for
say a
Bo and the
word.
boys on the 25-yard line. And number 19, Bell goes in motion, and whoa, just outside of the outstretched hands of number 33, Teddy Bolser. But there's a little yellow laundry over there on the left side of the field. We'll have to see who ran into who.
Yeah, I would think that it would be on defense. There's no way it could be on Teddy, but Bo threw that just a little out of reach.
It is, in fact, it does look, in fact, like it's going to be an interference call, John. And if it's against Taylor, it's going to give Indian Hill a first down and move the ball a little closer. It does look good, like the Braves are marching back, and so perhaps they're going to say Teddy pushed off.
Yep. I didn't see it, but I'm sure the stripes found it and made the correct call.
You know, John, there's a lot of pushing and a lot of holding in football that's not called, and Teddy's problem is he's a man among boys with these guys. He's a big kid, a strong kid, and when he does it, everybody notices it. Second and first and 25, we can make it.
You got it.
Bo back now, and it is second and 25 with a loss of down and just over the outstretched hands of number 17, Sammy Hendricks. And John, apparently you lose it down on pass interference on defense, and now it's going to be third and about 25 for Bo. Fortunately, Bo has shown us over the years that he can throw a long ball. We're going to see that here.
I would think you're going to see the offense and the receivers out going deep. We're going backwards right now.
We got trips to the right, Teddy to the left, Bo and Ross in the backfield. Bo back to pass. He's out there to number 9, Kane Muir, who's able to get back to about the original line of scrimmage, John. And now it's going to be interesting as to whether or not Coach Seipel lets the young sophomore kicker come out or the young junior kicker come out and try a field goal, or whether they're going to go for a touchdown. We'll have to see what happens here.
They're talking right now, Dave.
Be about a 37-yarder. I did see Logan Corman pick up his tee. He knows what he wants to do, but he and Coach Seipel are on the same page on that.
Go for it. Go for it.
In high school football, that's a long field goal, so it looks like we're going for it.
Fourth and about 10 yards to go as Adam Bell comes in motion to the right side of the field. Bo back, and he's going to be able to hit Teddy Bolser over there wide open in the flat, and Teddy stretches it. Let's see what the refs say, John, on that play. Just an awesome job by Teddy Bolser to score a touchdown, first catch the ball, and then stretch out and get the 6 points that he wanted to get on that play.
It does help when you're 6'6" and you stretch out your 10 feet, baby.
John, I'll tell you, I think the boosters tonight are sponsoring some fireworks during the game every time we score. I don't know if they brought enough fireworks for all the scoring it looks like we're going to do tonight. They might go broke.
Well, let's hope they have to go back and get some more, buddy.
Schneid says he also thinks that might be Al-Qaeda over there in the field trying to scare some people as Logan Corman tries to make this a 14-0 game.
Well, David's up. Let's see. Kick it. 14-0, buddy.
Is good.
So John, with 4:39 left in the first quarter, it's been all Braves all the time. Both the offensive and defensive units have done an outstanding job when they're on the field, and that's why the Braves have a 14-0 lead.
You know, this is our 4th year. You and I have been fortunate to have our kids in this program, and we've went over to Taylor, of course, 2 years, and now it's 2 years here. And it's always amazing. I go back and you look at the size of these schools. Actually, Taylor is actually larger than Indian Hill, and it's always amazing what this team has done with this football program. So you've got to take your hats off to all these, coaches and 7th, 8th grade coaches, how they built this program, because it's pretty awesome.
Absolutely right, John, and you do know that Taylor's got some good athletes on the field that know how to play football. It does sometimes come down to a question of execution and coaching and some of the intangibles, and we've been lucky over the years that the Braves have done so.
No question about it, Dave.
John, number 20, Steve Warren, and number 21, it looks like Michael Presnell are back to receive Logan's kickoff, and on the deep end, part of the end zone. Number 20 is able to get up to about the 18-yard line. Wrapped up there by number 2, Parker Bell, number 8, Wally Morris, and Stephen Warren. And so Taylor John, for their 3rd offensive series, is going to start off in pretty familiar territory for them, deep in their own territory.
Yeah, it's tough to start out there. I know Coach Vanaski has really been working on the special teams, and I heard one of our coaches talk about staying in the lane. It's what it's all about, so it looked really good.
We got 21, and here comes 20.
That's right. He's done for the night.
Number 14, Evan LePage, is now back at quarterback as he sends number 15, Josh Green. And there's a fumble. It's picked up by an Indian Hill Brave. We'll have to see who it is. It looks like it's on number 24, Jay Schroeder. Falls on that ball, John, and once again, your son finds himself 18 yards from Pager on a big turnover there.
Yeah, that's quite unfortunate for Taylor. When you're down on the end, you've got to protect that ball. That was a little mix up quarterback and
John, you know,
center.
Taylor is coming off a big win last week. They beat Finneytown, which is generally a pretty good team in our league, 14-9. They're 2-4 in the league and 2-4 overall, 1-2 in the league. And you know, Coach Huffman was expecting these guys to come out and play tough football. They have shown some toughness at times. You don't want to have a turnover like that and let the Braves get up on you by 3 touchdowns.
They're not as fast as they've been able to score. Exactly.
Handoff again up the gut. Ross Lockwood will not go down. As he's able to wiggle down to about looks like about the 5-yard line, John. Picks up about 4 yards, 5 yards, call it about a 2nd and 5 for the Braves.
I think you called.
Yeah, that's Max takes it forward for about 7 yards.
Reed Lockwood, you said Ross Lockwood there before, but we always. Was it Max?
No, that's right. Number 44, Max
Thank you,
Hendricks.
Mr.
He's going
Schneider.
to take the ball again, and
Go,
John,
Max.
he is going to bowl his way in for a touchdown.
That's number 44, Max Hendricks.
He does a great job.
Touchdown for Indian
They've been
Hill.
experimenting a little bit, hoping that if Jake Bauer can't come back, they know they have to have a big, powerful running back. As gifted as Sam is and as speedy as he is, Max is everybody that's gifted and powerful, and he does a good job there as he runs the ball on the left side for the touchdown.
He is so athletic, Max. Of course, we know all about Sam, but to give him that opportunity is phenomenal. If you ever see how that kid's built, he's a stud.
John,
And
3:41 left in the first quarter of the game, and Logan Corman is seeking to make the Braves lead 21-0 as they currently lead 20-0. The ball snapped. And it's blocked. On a pretty good job there by the Taylor Yellow Jackets penetrating. That was not Logan's fault. It was the line's fault. They let the defenders come in and give them credit. They were able to tip that ball. If you're Taylor, you've got to take little victories and try to turn them into big victories.
You're exactly right. Yeah, that's really important, given, again, going back to Max, the chance to run, and with Bauer will be back. We can get this team into the playoffs. As you and I know, as you get into the November months, we've got a great passing game, but the running is that's what wins championships when you get into that cold weather up north. So I really like the opportunity they've given Max.
The vaulted Indian Hill kickoff team is out there, John, and you were talking before about Coach Finassi. He's done a good job of mixing some senior players with some underclassmen players, some guys to give them some experience for varsity football and let them know what it's like to play varsity football on a winning level, because these younger guys are going to step up and fill the shoes of these seniors when they're gone next year.
No question about it. Again, like we've talked, we've got a great coaching staff and just teaching these young players how to play.
Here we go now. Logan signals to the ref that he's ready, and he's going to kick the ball off. And number 20, Stephen Warren, fumbles.
Logan Corbin's kickoff is taken by number 20, Stephen Warren.
Hey, that's tough when you're averaging. I don't know what they're averaging, but they're down around the 20-yard line, 15-yard line the last couple of plays.
Well, their first drive, John, they got the ball in the 35. Of course, Logan kicked it out of bounds. They were able to move it up to about the 50, 15 yards. They looked pretty good. Punted the ball, and then the bottom fell out. They've been down deep in their own territory the last 3 times, and it's really tough to get your momentum going and to get a drive going when you have to. We know you have to run the ball back that deep. We can pin our ears back and try to shut you down.
You got it. The defense will be eating up this.
All right, here we go now. It's a direct snap to the running back. Looks like Youngblood, and a really nice hit over there by number 81, Jeremy Dolan. And I'll tell you, we called his name a couple times tonight. You're right. His dad told me that he tore his labrum in his shoulder, and that prevents him from raising his arm. He didn't want to have surgery now. He wanted to wait to the end of the season. Our team doctor, Tim Kremchek, looked at him, said it was okay to wait. He's doing a great job playing injured.
Really stepping up and playing phenomenal football.
One man in the backfield and one man in motion is Josh Green. He's going to take the ball, a little flip to the left side, and a number of players come over to wrap up number 20.
Stephen Warren, here. He is tackled by number 45.
45 over there is Mick Thomas, good buddy of my son Andy's. Mick's a junior and he's doing a great job with his numbers called, John.
No question about it. A swarm of Braves again.
Yeah, on my way, I can't see the field.
Third down and 7 yards to go now for the Yellow Jackets. Almost another fumble for number 5, and that was picked off there, John, by number 7, Hendrick Creek, who the coaches have moved a little bit from offense to defense. Hendrick is a talented wide receiver. Our luxury on the Indian Hill Braves is we got a bunch of wide receivers. They're trying to give Hendrick more playing time and recognize that he is a fabulous defensive back and can run with the ball. And they moved him over to let him play a little DB, and he's just done an outstanding job.
No question. He's fast. He's got great leaping ability. So great move by the coaches.
The third punt out of Bell, number 19, and he's going to get the ball down to about the 30-yard line, John. And so Bo's going to find himself on the 30 instead of the 25 or the 15. I think that's going to throw him off somehow.
Yeah, I'd say if you go back the last 4 plays we've had, starting off on offense, I think any offensive player would love to be in this position.
And of course, John, as good as our offensive unit is, the Braves also have an outstanding defensive unit. I think the turning point of the season as the Braves' offense and defense stood toe-to-toe with Valley View and toe-to-toe with Turpin, 2 Division I schools, was that game against Reading when they found themselves down. The defense really bonded that night and became the stingiest part of this team. They don't like to give up anything.
You're exactly right there.
A little offside penalty there as Bo uses that golden tone voice of his, John, to draw a player in the neutral zone and pick up 5 easy ones.
You're talking about the defense. I was talking to Coach Tyson after the Turpin game, and you talk about a game they ran over us that first half, and they didn't score a point the second half. I said, "What did you say?" I won't say what he said, but they had a nice talk at halftime, and this defense has definitely changed.
Trips to the right here for Bo and the boys as he's got Reed Lockwood in the backfield with him. He's going to fake a handoff to Reed and then show some speed of his own. And I got to tell you, John, they've been using that play and running that play a lot lately with Bo. You'd think that Sam, who's a great runner, would be the guy they'd run the play on. You got to tip your hat to Bo. He's really shown that he does have some abilities and some speed. He hurt his knee last year, and I know he's worked hard to get back to top physical condition. He showed he's in physical condition on that play.
Yeah, finally, after 3 games ago, of course, me being his dad would talk a lot, but his knee is not swelling. He feels good, and he likes running.
1st and 10 for Bo and the boys as they find themselves deep again in Taylor territory with about 1 minute 30 seconds to go. And boy, I'll tell you, a nice pass there, maybe a little too hard and a little too high, and Adam Bell, the intended receiver, not able to pull it in.
Bring up 2nd and 10 for Indian Hill.
2nd and 10, John.
One thing about this offense, having Sam, and of course there's Sam Voss. We have loads of quarterbacks, but Sam Hendricks, how he can pass, but what a runner. And with Bo running, this definitely opens this thing up.
Little play action fake to Ross, and Kane Muir gets down close, John, not able to get in as he's on about the 1 yard line. I'll tell you why the running game is so important. Ross did such a great job the couple of times that he had the ball that they bid on that run. They thought that guy's coming up the gut, and Bo fakes it. Kane's wide open, and then Kane does the rest with some good speed to get down on the 1 yard line.
No matter who you're talking about, professional, college, high school, if you can get the running game going, that definitely opens up that passing game.
Well, let's see. Number 44, Max Hendricks, comes in, and number 42, A.J. Froelich, is in. I wonder what this play is going to be.
Let you guess.
Number 44, Max Hendricks, busts it up the middle and to the right side. A 1 yard gain and another Indian Hill touchdown, John. 53.2 seconds left in the first quarter, and we're winning 26-0.
Wow. That's a tough one. I mean, you got to feel for Taylor at this point. We were standing here while we were doing the game, and we're lucky enough to sit next to Coach Schneider, and he actually called that play. So it tells you how this coaching staff has been together this long.
And John, we're also lucky because Coach Schneider knows a lot more about football than you and I together. And one of the things he just mentioned to me, we talked about how if you're Taylor, you can't have turnovers, you can't have these little things they start to steamroll. Apparently, number 28, their starting running back, Cameron Youngblood, has not been in. He's out. And that's sad news for Taylor because he's really been the spark and the inspiration for their team.
No question about it. Before the game, we were talking about he was that was the key for the defense to stop him. And as you and I know, we've been through this a long time. You never want to play a team with their best player out. You want to play the best of the best. That makes you better. So let's hope he gets back soon.
Well, Logan Corbin sure getting to work out on that leg tonight, that kicking leg, as he gets ready to do this for the 5th time tonight as he's goes back to the kickoff unit. They slap their hands. They get ready to go. Taylor's ready to receive.
Let's see if Taylor can get past that 20-yard line there.
21, Presnell, and 20, Stephen Warren, are back deep to receive the punt. And number 20, Warren's going to take it and just can't make it around number 38 for Indian Hill, John.
Dave, I'm impressed how fast
that was Kyle Combs that did a
our
great
team is
job
down there. Yeah, they're definitely swarming. They're fired up.
You know, John, Kyle's one of those kids. I asked my son Andy. Andy's a senior, about some of these young guys that are getting to play out there on the special teams, and he says Kyle's a real go-getter and earned that spot. He looks a little undersized, but I'm sure what he lacks in size and height, he makes up for in drive and determination. Good tackle on that play. And Taylor's now 1st and 10 on about the 20-yard line. Josh Green goes into motion. They're going to hand it off to him, and nobody's fooled there as number 97.
28 is
97, Jamie Lackman, and 23, Andy Prem, there on that tackle, John. And you're right, 28 did make it back into the game, but it might be a little too little too late as time's running out here in the first quarter, and the Braves have a humongous lead.
Right, but it is a good sign to see 28 back in for Taylor.
28's back behind Chris Schreikert now on second down and about 11 as number 15, Josh Green, goes into motion. And we'll hand off up to Gut, and a bunch of Braves come over to seal the deal and knock down number 28. It looked like 44, Max Hendricks, and 42, A.J. Froelich, along with 47, Josh Abbott, were in there to stop Youngblood from getting much more than about 2 yards. Call it 3rd and 9. John, the end of the first quarter has finally arrived. And we still got 3 quarters of football to play, and the Braves are up 27-0 already. You know that's not what Coach Hoffman had in mind when he came down here to Tomahawk Stadium today.
Yeah, that's tough when you're on their side of the field right now. I was just leaning out, just watching the crowd. As we always know, Indian Hill's always got a great crowd, but we're always a late arriving crowd. It's fairly full right now, but most of them were not here when we scored 21 points. I'm sure they're fairly shocked.
Well, they had a boosters night, and there was a tailgate out in the parking lot, and I think some of the parents didn't think the game would get going as quickly as it has. You know, the difference between this game and the last couple of games for the Braves is they've kind of slowly started in the games. They come in and trade some downs and trade the ball, offense and defense, a couple times. Then they get fired up and they get started. In this game, they went right to business and got that 27-point lead.
You're exactly right, Dave.
So here we go now with the Yellow Jackets now coming to the other side of the field, and number 14, the quarterback for Taylor, Ephraim.
I think we got a fumble there, buddy.
Hands off to 28, but there's a fumble.
Looks like we've got the ball.
And I didn't see who got that, John, but 2 turnovers, 2 costly turnovers deep in your own territory with a team that scores touchdowns like they're going out of style.
Yeah, you cannot have turnovers, especially, as you say, with an offense like this. But any game, anytime you have more than 3-4 turnovers in a game, you're in trouble. And we're, like you say, 11:55 in the second yet left to play.
Bo and the boys remain in that shotgun defense as that's their bread and butter, John. And number 38, Reed Lockwood, in the backfield with Bo as he's got receivers to the left. He's going to roll to the left, and he's going to look downfield and find a wide open Teddy Bolser on about the 2-yard line. And he's able to squiggle down to about the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. Great job by Teddy.
Great catch.
John, we've got first half or first quarter stats for the Braves and for the Taylor Yellow Jackets. The score, of course, 27-0. Braves have 8 first downs. Taylor 1 first down. The Taylor's 11 rushes, 19 yards total. Braves have 72 yards on the ground with 7 attempts. Braves have 82 yards in passing so far. That doesn't include that last pass from Ted to Bo. And Taylor's got nothing in. Hey, there's a fumble there, John.
Yeah.
It looks like Taylor may have recovered the ball. Not sure if the Brave was able to get it. And
I think they've got it.
they're signaling that Taylor has it. I got to tell you, if I'm the Taylor coach, I'm not sure I want to take it there. I'd probably rather have Indian Hill score and then let me have the ball and try to get it to the 30-yard line, because we're not having any success that deep in our own field.
No, it's a tough one. It looked like between Roland and Bo, they mishap. I'm sure they're get talked on the side. I've seen it before. What they do is of course, that was a long snap, but usually when they have a mishap like that, they'll be on the sidelines working on that right now.
1st and 10 now for the Yellow Jackets as they're deep in their own end zone, and their running back is able to dodge a couple of players. Looks like number 47, Josh Abbott, and number 44, Max Hendricks, bring down number 28, Cameron Youngblood. He's back, John. They need him this deep.
No question about it. It was a nice run by him. 1st down. Now they're 2nd and 7, but they got to get out of the hole.
You know, John, he's got over 500 yards rushing this season. as LePage is under center. He's going to hand off up the gut, and a pretty good run there.
They're getting him out of the hole.
Number 47, Alex Lemmers. And he gets out to the 15-yard line, and hey, Taylor's got another first down, John.
There you go. They got the ball. They had him in a tough position, but nice run. That shows a lot of guts by the team.
Well, it looks like what Coach Huffman might be trying to do here is maybe mix it up a little bit, hand off to a couple of different receivers, maybe confuse the Braves. They don't get confused too often, but hoping that you can get 5 or 6 yards a pop, and it's a handoff straight up the middle, a quick handoff, and they pick up maybe 2 or 3 yards, and the Braves line are able to bring that rusher down.
Exactly. They're in a tough position. I mean, when you're down by this much, you've got to. But for the Taylor, they need to be running the ball. That's their strong part of their game. You can't get away from the game plan yet, even though you're down by 27-0. At this point, they just got to get something positive and getting first down.
Evan LePage gets the call that Coach Huffman wants to call on this second down and 8 yards to go. In the second quarter of this exciting game, Braves are up 27-0, and Page hopes that he and his Taylor Yellow Jackets have something to say about that, and they're going to try a little sweep to the left side, a reverse, and nice job over there by number 94, Boyan Lazic, John, a very speedy kid, and he's able to pull down a very, very quick Taylor Yellow Jacket running back, Michael Presnell. Presnell put on the afterburners, looked like a jet over there, and Boyan just caught up with him and brought him down for a no gain.
Nice pursuit by Boyan, and like you say, that just never did happen. He ran sideways a long way, but never could cut up. Good defense.
Well, LePage and his Yellow Jackets now find themselves third and long passing situation. They don't have one passing yard yet, John, and LePage is going to have to step up, hopefully, if you're a Yellow Jackets fan, and figure out some way to get the ball out into the flat. He just heaves it up and nowhere close to his intended receiver, number 21, Michael Presnell, John. And you got to tip your hat, or the credit on that play goes to the defense. The defensive line, they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. He had to dump it real fast. He couldn't get his feet set. That's why it wasn't a good pass.
No question about it. They were 3rd and 9, but this will be a big play here, trying to get him, see if Taylor can stop us.
Number 15, Josh Green, takes a low snap and gives the ball to number 19, Adam Bell, who gets free and past the first wave of
nice
Yellow Jackets. One man to beat, and he does. A touchdown, John,
nice
for number
blocks.
19, Adam Bell. Second of the season for that young man on punt returns, and he just does an outstanding job. He's a very, very speedy kid.
No question about it. Adam did what you're supposed to do. He followed his blocks right in there, and a great run by Adam. That young man's got a good career ahead of him.
Well, it's 33-0 now, John, and looks like the Braves are going to try to add another point there as Logan Corman is out, along with number 17, Max Hendricks, for the extra point.
You know, when you're in a game like this, gets tough because all the coaches in this league know each other, but you've got to play your first string guys a little bit. These guys have worked their butts off all week. Here we are, 8:33 in the second, and we're up 34-0. So,
and one of the problems you have, John, is your players have to play an entire game. If we make it into the playoffs, we know from experience these teams in the playoffs are tough teams. They play you 4 quarters. If we don't let our guys play for a certain period of time, they're not going to be in shape, the proper shape to play at the end of the season.
You got it. So this will be interesting to see how the game takes place. But the team, you got to give our team so much responsibility or credit. I mean, they're playing some good football.
Well, number 28, John, Bill Thomas, is going to be subbed for number 23, Andy Prem, as perhaps the coaches are going to start using a little bit more JV-type action on the kickoff teams and the special teams here, and hopefully get some guys
start
some
moving them in and out a
opportunities
little
to
bit.
play and get some quarters under their belt.
Right. And again, that's what you and I were talking. That's your son. And it is tough because these kids play hard, but you know you got to give the young guys a chance. But
Doesn't matter, you're not gonna do anything. 20, 28 said, I don't wanna do anything.
And just a crushing blow put over there on Stephen Warren as
one thing I'll say, Dave, is we're up 34
looks like
to
Wally
nothing.
Morris, John, went over there and made the Taylor running back pay the price as he came up and tried to do something with the ball. Wally, who was our best tackler, leads the team in tackles, comes over and shows why he's a great open field tackler.
No question about it. And again, that says something for Wally and the defense. This is important for this team right now. They're still hitting hard. I mean, when you're up 34 to nothing, it'd be easy to pull back, but you've got to play your A game all the time, every time.
Well, you better believe that Coach Tyson is not going to let these guys score if he doesn't have to, and they're going to play hard, smash mouth football, and you want to run at us, you can do it, but you better bring your A game because we're going to bring our A game on defense.
Amen to that one, buddy. They're playing a good game right now, I'll tell you that.
Number 24, Jay Schroeder, brings down the running back Youngblood as he picks up or loses yardage there. Looks like, well, maybe gets right back to the line of scrimmage now as they move the ball to the other side. It's going to be about 2nd and 10 still, John, and with 7:57 left in the second quarter, one thing that you know Coach Huffman would like to do is something positive in this quarter. Have a sustained drive, something you can talk about at halftime so these guys can hold their heads up. Otherwise, this is going to be a blowout.
No question about it. I mean, these are all high school ball players, and we know that it's tough when you're coaching when you're down like this, but you've got to get something positive and move forward with it.
Evan LePage, number 14, tried to carry that ball, and Thomas made the tackle, John, and maybe LePage got about a yard on that play, but it's 2nd and 9. And another problem for Taylor is they really are not a multi-diversified offense and really have no answer for the Braves defense.
Yeah, it's tough when you're down this much if you've just got your running game's your biggest play. That makes it tough to come back when you're down.
Number 44, Max Hendricks, catches number 24, Jay Schroeder, catches the Taylor running back, whose number I didn't see from up here, John, as he tried to go up the middle. It was the quarterback, LePage, as he tried to make it up the middle and was able to get it maybe 2 yards, but nothing to write home about. And as a consequence, old Josh Green, my buddy's son, who's a great athlete, great baseball player, is back to punt this ball for the 6th time tonight.
Wow.
And Nicky Yerashevitz gets a hand on that ball, John, and blocks it partially.
Nice play.
Goes out of bounds at about looks like the 40-yard line, 35-yard line is where they're going to mark it, and that's where Bo and the boys will start off for this offensive series.
You know, you hate to say it, but that's about the furthest we've been back so far this game. So, but you like nice defensive play, getting his hands on that ball.
We actually had the ball once on the 20-yard line, John.
There you go.
It's been so long ago you can't remember, but we haven't seen that. It's been a luxury. We haven't seen that a lot tonight.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope and pray we keep this going against other teams, buddy.
6:19 left in the second quarter. Braves up 34 to nothing. Bo Cordell gets finished talking to Coach Kevin Seipel, the head coach for the Indian Hill Braves, who's done an outstanding job as the head coach. And Seipel sends into play to Cordell. Cordell tells the team what the play is. They're ready to go. Number 50, Roland Summer. Hikes the ball back, and a nice little screen play there to Lockwood on the right side, and he picks up a first down, John.
And I was just watching the line of Taylor. There's a couple nice-sized kids on that defensive line. It's just they're just not as quick. We've got and as you know, that offensive line that we have, we've been so blessed to have these kids grow up, and they've done a heck of a job.
And John, I said Lockwood. I think that might be Kyle Combs, 38, not 36. As perhaps the coach, now Coach Seipel, might be bringing in some JV guys. And
nice run. Who was that?
That is number 38, Kyle Combs.
Kyle
He's the
Combs.
JV running back. He stepped up to replace Lockwood when Jacob Bauer went down, and Kyle shows he's just as versatile, just as speedy, and just as talented as these other kids.
Can you imagine on homecoming, standing room only crowd on the Brave side, 5:45 left, and he's got to be tickled to death to be out there playing. Think of his parents. That's neat.
Two Braves to the right, two to the left. Pass over to number 21. One of my favorite players, John, number 21, is Austin Bell, Adam's brother. And, you know, Austin works his butt off, and he's had some great successes on this Indian Hill football team. The one that I'll never forget is he earned a varsity letter as a freshman, not for playing football, but for being the team manager. He was hurt that year. He came to the coach and volunteered to be the team manager. And that guy, the team manager, is the guy, he's the grunt. He's got to do all kinds of things, pick things up, bring out water, be there when the coach needs him. And Coach Seipel just talked about what an invaluable asset Austin was to the team as the team manager. And Austin has parlayed that kind of value as a player, as he's one of the guys that tries to get these guys enthused every time they get out there.
Well, the Bell brothers, the two doctors, the kids, all their kids are phenomenal kids. So to see these kids play the way they are and have a chance is phenomenal. And like you said, I remember that year and when they were freshmen. You know, I'm not sure, I guess a timeout.
Looks like the Braves or someone have called a timeout here, John. 5:13 to go in the first half. It's an official timeout, what they're saying, and not quite sure what's going on.
Maybe they can put us on, should we do a commercial?
Well, I could tell you, John, that the Indian Hill Television Network produces coverage of many of the school sporting events, football, field hockey, soccer. So be sure to catch all the boys and girls action on this community access channel. For playback times in your area, call the ICRC at 772-4272. That's 772-4272, or visit their website at www.icrctv.com.
There you go.
And you can watch us again and again and again.
How lucky you can be.
But you'll do it like most of our friends do, and that's with the sound down.
Like I said, we've been doing this a long time, and God bless Coach Bolzer and to our boys, and you and I yap, and he tells us he turned off the sound and watched the tapes.
Number 9, Kane Muir, goes into motion to the right side as Teddy is going to find a ball from Bo Cordell for about 30 yards, 20 yards, 15 yards. I can't see where the ball was. 15 yards out, John. Another touchdown for your son. Another touchdown catch for Teddy Bolser. Another 6 points for the Braves, and we're up 40-0.
So funny, over the last 3 weeks, Bo and Ted, right after school, of course, they eat here and then they head home. And Ted, 1 week, will come over our house and play Xbox. And I was talking to him, and he said, "Mr. Cordell, we're going to score that big play that we do." And I said, "What's that?" And it's the one in the corner. Last week, Bo went to their house. He was back to our house this week. I said, "Keep it up, guys."
You know, this score now at 41-0 as Logan Corman is able to convert again, John. And, you know, the score is quickly getting high enough where the coach will start to substitute. If it gets high enough, you wonder if Coach Seipel's going to call up here to the booth and ask Steve Masali and Coach Schneider to start warming up. Maybe we'll see them out on the field.
There you go, buddy. Schneider's ready, buddy. He's doing the clock, so.
Put me out there that 41-point lead.
Coach Schneider says if he's out there, that 41-point lead will evaporate in no time.
Yeah, tell me about it. I came over here last year, Dave, with Bo before the season started, and I was testing him on how his 40. We know he's not the fastest kid. I said, "Gosh darn it, let me show you what I'm talking about." I go out there and start. I hit the 15-yard line, pull my hamstring. I can't even walk. So put me out there. Yellow Jackets will come back.
I don't know. Masali says he's ready to go. He's ready to play. He's got his
ready.
Old Braves 62 jersey on. He wants to get out there and hit.
He can do it. That's right.
We got Coach Mashak up here too, Marty Mashak. He'll go back out there and play a little bit.
We'll do it.
All right, Logan Corman's got his kickoff team in. And the Braves ready for action as it's a kick over in the corner to number 20, Warren, and he is not able to break free of the
Stephen Warren receives the kick off of Logan Corbin.
pressing Braves defensive unit, John. And once again, when you're down by 40 points and you find yourself only on about the 15-yard line, it sure is tough to play football.
No question. It'll be interesting to see these halftime stats on the total yardage that the Blue Jackets have, or Yellow Jackets have. Yeah.
1st and 10 and a handoff attempt up the gut. 28 Youngblood picks up about 2 yards, John, and a swarm of Braves are able to stop him. 2nd down and long.
Yep, it's a little over 4 minutes left in the half. Hey, Dave, this is homecoming, so we're going to have some fun at halftime, buddy.
That's right. We've got some floats. We've got some king and queen nominees and a decision to be made, an election decision to be made, just like this year. But right now we've got a 2nd down and 8 yards to go for Taylor, and
wow,
what a crushing
play.
Defensive play there as number 94 and number 42, A.J. Froelich, just come in. 94 is Jamie Lackman, and I'll tell you what, John, Taylor just wasn't expecting that. Those 2 guys just came in through the open gaps and just put the play down right now.
I was going to say, when that kid had the ball, it's like, oh my gosh. The first thing he saw was red. Great play.
Third down now and 10 to go. Call it 10 and a half as they lost yardage on that play. It's 3:07 left in the first half, and once again,
On the play, it is picked up by number 56, William Schultz of Taylor.
there's another fumble, John, there, and I couldn't see, I think 56 for Taylor. William Schultz was able to pick it up, fortunately for them, but they will have to punt.
Yeah, a little more than 2 minutes left in the game before we get to halftime, and here we go, Taylor again punting. I have no idea how many times they've punted, but it's been quite a few punts so far.
Well, old Adam Bell is out on the 50-yard line to receive Josh Green's punt, and it goes wayward, and the Taylor player, number 21, Michael Presnell, will down it at about the 40, right around the 50-yard line, John, and see what Bo and the boys do now with about 2:20 to go.
2:20 to go, 41-0. Will be interesting what they call, and if they're going to get to the run game now, just to run it out. You got it.
We had the ball once. There's some conversation up here in the booth, John, about is this the longest field we've had. We've actually had it once starting on the 20, but this is the 2nd longest field we've had. The first time since the ball's technically on our side of the field, the first time in a long time.
Wait till you see the stats at halftime. 41 points, and the fewest yards, total yards are going to be quite drastic.
Bo hands off to number 19, Adam Bell, and he makes his way out for about an 8-yard gain over to the Yellow Jackets side of the field. John, the producer for tonight's game is Calvin August, and the director on the Indian Hill Television Network is Brad McKee. Our coordinating producer is our buddy, Mr. Denny Dupps. All the IHTN games are produced in association with the ICRC, and I want to tell you, I want to tip my hat to these guys and all the cameramen and everybody else that's part of this production. They've been out here working for 2 days. They did a field hockey game yesterday. They've been out here working this afternoon when you and I were tailgating to bring home this big Braves victory on homecoming night.
No question about it, Dave. That was a great run again by Reed Lockwood. One thing I'd say, you and I came up to, they had a tailgate, and I was here at 5:30. My wife told me to get her a seat, so I did what a good husband does. I came in here, and the boys were already up here putting the cameras up. So there's a lot of work, and I'm amazed how many people are behind the scenes here. If these people in the stands could actually see how many people it takes to put on a football game. It's pretty awesome.
1:10 to go and counting here in the first half of this game, and Bo Cordell and will hand off again, and number 36 Lockwood
Go, Joe.
does a great job of making a spin move.
Wow.
John
What a
gets
play.
out of bounds, and I'll tell you, flag on the field back here. They're probably going to bring it back.
Holding
But
it.
even though they are going to bring it back, it was an awesome run by Reed Lockwood. If anybody wants to know why he's out there and replacing the injured Jake Bauer, that's why. He's a great player.
No question about it. What a spin move that kid had. They're going to bring it back like you said, but that's on television. His parents are going to see that. Quite proud.
56.6 seconds now left on the clock as Reed's able to get out of bounds and the penalty stops the clock. The ball's going to be back on about the 34-yard line, John. Second or first down rather, and about 14 to go. Looks like for the Braves. As Bo and the boys will try to do it again. This time Bo is going to take it up the gut and get to the outside, and number 21, Michael Presnell, does a pretty good job of bringing Bo down, but once again, Bo showed some quickness and some good agility as he wiggled his way through the interior part of that Yellow Jacket defense.
Yeah, like we talked about his knee, it's just he's getting more, he believes in that knee more and more each week. And again, if we can get this team into the playoffs, it's only going to make us better.
John, the clock's running, 23 seconds to go. 3 timeouts for the Braves. It looks like Coach Seipel's going to be content with only a 41-0 lead at halftime.
Yeah, that's a tough position to be in a coach.
And that's going to be a direct snap to Reed Lockwood, and he gets tackled. That'll be the last play of this first half, John. Braves up big, 41-0. All Braves in the first half.
Yeah, what a half by this team. Yellow Jackets just didn't have a chance.
Well, John, one of the things that's going to happen here, we're going to take a break in a moment to go get some water and give people at home a chance to get some water. When we come back in the second half, we're undoubtedly going to see some younger players. It's going to be an exciting time because you're going to see some guys really go out there busting their butt, getting a chance to play not only on homecoming, but under the bright lights of a Friday night football game, varsity style. That's a big event in their lives. I can't wait to see it. We'll get the second half stats, and we'll be back when the game's ready to begin.
Dave, it was a pleasure working with you, buddy. We'll see you in the second half.
All right, see ya. Hey, Calvin.
Oh, yeah. You're giving your...
Welcome back, everyone, to Indian Hill High School Tomahawk Stadium on this beautiful October 3rd, 2008 evening. We're here for the second half of this exciting game between the Indian Hill Braves and the Taylor Yellow Jackets. Braves are up 41-0, John, big time, and we've learned at halftime that one of the things they're going to do to kind of move the game along a little bit and maybe challenge Bo a little bit to see if he can get 41 points in the second half is have a moving clock, which will mean that the clock won't stop like it does normally.
Right, and that's actually a good choice. And talking to Coach Schneider, Taylor had brought their freshman and JV team also, so maybe I would assume we're going to see a lot of players this half. So,
John, I'm going to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank Doug Feigelson and Marty Mashak, who keep the stats for the Braves. They supplied us with second half or first half stats for tonight's game. I said the score's 41-0. Braves have 12 first downs to Taylor's 2. Braves have 13 rushes, 134 yards. Taylor 23 rushes, 34 yards. Braves have 108 yards in the air. Taylor nothing. Taylor quarterbacks have tried 4 passes, only 1 completion for no yards, and Bo is 9 for 11. A couple of fumbles, 1 for the Braves, 2 for Taylor. We've got Reed Lockwood, got 45 total yards. Your son, Bo Cordell, 3 rushes, 38 yards. The Hendricks boys, Max got 14 yards. Sam's got 20 yards. On the other side of the ball, Youngblood's got 18 yards. Hartke's got 10 yards. LePage, the quarterback's got 5 yards, and Warren's got 3 yards. That's pretty much the stats, and those kind of stats tell you why the game is so one-sided. We see number 23, Andy Prem, and number 19, Adam Bell, back to do something that we haven't done all night, John, and that's return a kickoff.
You've got it. Interesting stat that I saw there, 242 total yards for the half for the Braves, 41 points, so that tells you where we started from. We were really deep in there at the side of the field each time.
77.
Number 77,
I don't have 77 on there.
whose name we don't have, is the kicker
Up, they're
for the
bringing.
Taylor Yellow Jackets. And,
Maybe it's a dad from the stands.
could be, and let's see what he can do. And he's going to pooch the ball to number 23, Andy Prem.
on,
He's
Andy.
going to take it at the 20-yard line.
Go, Andy.
Way up and-
Go, Andy, go.
Andy Keaton. Gonna get
Nice
tackled there
play.
at about the 45-yard line, John Taylor. Andy shows he's got some speed too. He does a pretty good job as he almost brings that from 6.
Mr. Prim, that's very nice run there by Andy. We knew he had it. He's always been a tough kid. As you know, we've seen him all these years. That kid takes some hits, buddy, but he put on his afterburners like his dad.
Well, you know, John,
Nice run.
I'm really proud of Andy. He's done a great job with this football program. He's very fond of all the players and all the coaches, and he's learned some great lessons here in his career at Indian Hill, and I know this is going to serve him well as he moves on to college next year.
That's what it's all about.
Got a 1st and 10 now for the Braves as number 17. Sam Hendricks is going to be able to keep on his feet and
Yes.
just bowl his way down to the 25-yard line, John. All Sam Hendricks showing some great skills as he leapt over some players, wiggled around players, pushed players, and then finally dove to get the extra yards.
No question about it. Sam, one thing about that, when you watch that in instant replay, his feet never stop moving. I mean, those players have a hard time stopping that kid. He literally jumped over a kid.
So Bo Cordell's got the ball on the 25-yard line with 10:40 in the 3rd quarter. He's back to pass, and he's got all day, and he finds Teddy Bolser right in the middle of the field, and Teddy brings the ball down to about the 6-yard line. We're on the move again.
No question about it. Again, like I said, when you look at those stats, 242 yards, and we scored 41 points. One thing about this offense, they can score fast.
6-yard line.
John, now perhaps Coach Bolser, Coach Seipel is going to try some jumbo time as he brings in 44, Max Hendricks at 42, A.J. Froling, get a little bit of experience down there on the goal line. Hopefully that'll pay off for us in the playoffs if we're lucky enough to make it, when we need to pick up some short yardage with these 2 big guys. And number 44, Max Hendricks, makes it in, John. He
Wow.
was stopped
That kid.
initially at the line of scrimmage. He went around, used a lot of power, and went in for a score.
No
Just
question
like that.
about it. He was stopped at the 5-yard line, and he took like 5 Yellow Jackets when they let him.
There goes the bank as the fireworks go off again. That one was that firework was kind of pathetic, really. I mean, I think they're running out.
They're
of
running
TNT
low.
out there.
We got to have a few for the end.
Right, of course it's homecoming, and we've got all these fireworks planned for the end. They can't dip into those for the game.
Call Rozzy, huh?
Yeah, you know what they're gonna have to do is get your horn. The horn.
There you go.
Corman's point after attempt is good for Indian Hill.
Nice kick.
You see Logan Corman convert on the extra point, John. It's now
A quick collegiate
48 to nothing for Indian Hill as Bo is able to take that great run from my kid Andy Prem and convert it into another 6 points.
Again, your son did a great job getting us set. Great run, and then the boys took it. Did you just hear the UC score?
UC
Go
is
ahead.
up on Marshall. The Braves are up on Taylor. Everything's right with the world. If the Bengals could get a win, it would just be something.
It would be perfect, baby. Be a good weekend.
All right. Kickoff team out there again for the Braves, and they're getting a lot of work. They are as number 31. Logan Corbin, I think, has kicked. This will be his 7th or 8th kickoff tonight, John. And he's really got his money's worth with that leg tonight.
He sure has. Good practice for the special teams.
He signals he's ready to go. The ball's in the air. Looks like number 20.
Up, he slipped. He fell down on the 14. Nobody touched him.
Stephen Warren, John, was all set to try to duplicate Andy's effort, and the problem was he got tackled by the yard marker there, by the turf, and wasn't able to move the ball forward, and puts his team in familiar territory on the 15-yard line to
Big
start
time.
off.
As you know, when things start going bad, it's all down. It just seems like it just keeps going like a domino there.
1st and 10 for Taylor in this 3rd quarter, and they're going to hand off up the gut, and nothing works for Taylor's 28 Youngblood is brought down after a short game, no gain by 42, A.J. Froelich, and number 24, Jay Schroeder on that side. They've really been stingy tonight, John.
They really have. Great defense, and again, even though the score the way it is, they sure haven't helped. They haven't stopped, and that's important.
Hey, John, I want to try to tell you, read the names of the cheerleaders, the varsity cheerleaders who are out there really working hard to keep the crowd into this game. They've done a great job all season. After this play, I'll give you some of their names, just keeping everybody fired up and really helping the Braves team out on times when the plays are bad. And you're going to see number 28, Youngblood, get around 1 or 2 Braves, but not around the other ones. It's more mid. And he's back for no gain. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
You're going to read the names of the pretty girls there.
Jane Solomini, Izzy Cromholtz, Sarah Worthington, Queen Elizabeth Bobbitt, the Haley Cromholtz, Titania Brown, Jesse Schwein, Alexis Eliensky, Julia Vigron, Carolyn Gutzpazal, Susan Plunkett, Becca Kahn,
Nice
Stephanie
catch.
Williams, and that's a great play there.
Nice catch.
It's a good catch.
Dave, you were talking about the cheerleaders, and these girls put a lot of time in it. That score's 48. These girls do push-ups. I haven't done 48 in my life.
I don't know if our director and our producer are going to get a shot of those cheerleaders maybe after the score, but you're right. It's the cheerleaders are doing push-ups, and there's some kids that come and they really get into it. They dress up. The boys paint their chests with Braves letters on them, and they get down there and do push-ups with them. And tonight, man, they're really getting a good workout as the Braves are able to score real big. And there's a run to the right side by number 28, Youngblood, and he's brought down by number 94.
Mr. Furley.
No, 94 is Jamie Lackman. I think Froelich was over there, maybe Andy Prem as well, but it was Jamie Lackman that. And now Steve Mazzali's giving me a look like you really missed that.
He's got those binoculars out.
You called it beautiful. You called it beautifully, Dad.
He just flipped out.
So here we go. It's 2nd down and 7 yards to go for Taylor as they're trying to muster a little bit of a penalty call there on a great play by Wally Morris. Wally did not touch the receiver. He had his hand up, knocked the ball down, and he's going to get flagged for a pass interference, John. Don't think that's a good call, but you got to take what the refs hand out. You have to pin your ears back down and put a stop to this run.
Exactly. But I think if we go back and see this one again on television, you're going to see an awful nice play by Wally Morris.
He jumped up there, used a big hand very fast. Coach Tyson agrees with us as he didn't see the pass interference, but the only guys that counter those guys wearing the zebra stripes, they said it was a penalty. And Taylor's got a fumble there, and number 94, Boyan Lazic, tries to get in to get it, but number 5 for Taylor Chris Schweikert, the kid that I said was quarterback at the beginning of the game, was able to get in there. John, I'm not sure, because Schweikert was in there at the beginning of the game, I'm not sure if they switched off, if they brought LePage in to try to do something a little different, of whether LePage is the normal quarterback, but really nothing has worked tremendously for Taylor. They're on a mini run here, but it looks like the Braves are going to hopefully put him in deep.
Yeah, 2nd and 13 at this time.
And Schweikert back again, and he's going to try to make his way up, and he gets stopped by number 81, Jerry Dolan, and then 99, Nick Yurashevitz, and Boyan Lazic, 94, and
nice pursuit.
A.J. Froelich, 42, come in and seal the deal. Now it's 3rd and long, John.
No, they had a little spark there for a little bit, but great defense again, and again, the coach is doing a great job keeping these guys fired up.
I'll tell you who else is doing a great job, John, in addition to the producer and the director, Brad McKee and Calvin August, our graphics designer, Greg Carmichael. Calvin August is also doing double duty work in audio, Joey Gill on camera, Aaron on camera, and Byron Combe on camera. And nice play there, a fumble picked up by an Indian Hill Brave.
Braves got
who
it.
picked that one up. Number two, Parker Bell.
Parker Bell falls on the ball for Indian Hill, where they will take over on offense.
I said Brandon, it's Brincombe there, John. Don't want to make any mistakes with these guys, because they do all the work. We just sit up here and have a little bit of fun.
You got that right. They do a good job, buddy.
Nice job there by Parker Bell to pick up that fumble. Nothing going right for Taylor. It looks like they come out what they want to try to do. You got to believe the coach Huffman talked about at halftime was at least let's get one successful drive. Let's show these Braves that we can hang with them on one drive. Weren't able to do it there, and now the defense is going to have to face some JV players. Number 36, Reed
Nice
Lockwood,
game.
takes the handoff from 17. Looks like Bo's night's done. John, as number 17, Sam Hendricks comes in to do a little bit of quarterbacking, and the Braves get a big gain there. It's going to be 2nd and 3.
Reed is really having a nice game tonight. He's explosive. He twists, turns, nice yardage.
Braves are back up in kind of a hurry-up offense, ready to go, and now number 38 for the Braves, Kyle Combs, back in, John, getting a couple more runs. You know, I looked at our halftime stats, didn't see Kyle's name down. I'm pretty sure he ran the ball the first half. I don't have the best eyes, but Kyle and Reed are about the same size and kind of deceptive when they're out there. So he gets his call, he gets his number called, and does a great job.
No question about it. How would you like to be on defense against this team right now? Because everybody you hand the ball to is getting 10, 15 yards.
This time, number 36.
There goes Sam.
Fakes the ball, and number 17, Sam Hendricks, runs with the ball, and John just will not be stopped. I'm going to be interested to see how many yards old Sammy has. He had 20 in the first half. He's had 2 huge runs here in the second half to add to that total. He puts the Braves down on about the 16-yard line for another first down.
No question about it. This just shows you how deep this team is to be able to put these players in here and to be able to perform the way they are.
Braves are using this hurry-up offense to their advantage, John. You've got to believe that Taylor, having gotten a 20-minute rest, is still tired. Obviously dejected, nothing going their way, and to have to stand right back up after the play is over and get ready to play football is very difficult. Number 36, Reed Lockwood,
What a
was
run.
able to
What a
run
run.
in for the touchdown, and John, just a great job by that young man as he shows no fear in going into the center of the field. That's where the big guys are. That's where you pay the price sometimes. Reed's not afraid to pay the price, and instead of getting tackled, he gets into the end zone. Braves are up now 54-0.
Wow, what a run by that young man. He's had quite a night.
Number 31, Logan Corman, comes out to earn his pay again, John, as he is out to try for his 8th extra point of the night. He's missed one. And he's been perfect on
Nice,
7
nice
more.
kick, Logan.
Increases the score, John, now to 55-0 for the Braves. And if you're Coach Huffman, what can you do, John, to kind of salvage something out of this game and get your kids fired up? They still got to come out and play for 2 more quarters. What do you do?
You talk to them, and again, these kids want to play football, and they've had a long season. Actually, we're in our 7th game now, so they've went through all the preseason. There's a lot of tough kids over there. They've got to come back, and I'm not sure if they're going to put their JV in or not, but we're definitely putting a lot of our players in at this time. It'd be time for them to try some other ball players.
It looks like we've still got pretty many of the same players on the kickoff team, John, that
Right.
Started the game. There are a couple of kids that are in there subbing for the guys normally that play. I think that really the coach is going to probably start the subbing now. As you're not going to believe this, but as we've been talking, the 3rd quarter has come to an end with that moving clock. We're starting the 4th quarter now, 12 minutes to go. When this clock ticks off, it'll keep moving, and hopefully we'll see some more good plays from the Braves as
Nice tackle by Teddy.
Teddy Bolser tackles number 20, Stephen Warren, and Steve gets out to the 20-yard line, John. That's about the best field position the Taylor Yellow Jackets have had all night tonight after that first kickoff. You'll remember the very first kickoff of the game, Logan shanked it a little bit. It went out of bounds. They got the ball at the 35-yard line. They moved the ball from the 35 across midfield, then ran into some problems, had a punt, and the bottom fell out after that, and it's been all Braves.
No question about it, Dave. This is definitely one of the biggest.
1st and 10 now as we've got a new quarterback in for Taylor. Number 4, Matthew O'Hara, it looks like could be the quarterback, and
Great defense.
he hands off to number 14, LePage, and he's met by number 79, Adam Scherzinger. Scherzy. And he drops him for no gain, John. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Now number 5 comes in for Indian Hill, or for Taylor. It was number 14. I said 4 before. It was LePage at quarterback, and now it's number 5, Chris Schweikert. He's under center, takes a little high snap, rolls to the right, looking for a pass. He's got somebody out in the flat, and Wally Morse
Nice
is going to catch it there.
for
Nice
Wally.
interception for Wally. Wally did exactly what you're supposed to do, John, as a defensive player, is you keep yourself between the quarterback and the guy you're covering. More times than not, you're going to get the ball.
No question about it. One thing with Wally, number 8, since the beginning of the year, we knew he was good, but each game this kid is improving game by game by game. And great catch by Wally.
And Wally's really a good study in a kid. He's a good kid. He's a good football player. He's worked hard last year as a good player, but he worked hard in the offseason to make himself a better player. He'd like to play at the next level. Probably is going to have that opportunity, John, and you can see why with his play tonight. He's just a well-rounded player. We talked about him being a great open field tackler, but there you saw that he's a great defender as well.
No question about it.
Number 36, Reed Lockwood, trying to add to his yardage, and that's number 38, actually. Combs trying to add to his average and maybe get in there.
Give him a little taste of the touchdown.
And, John, now we've got, looks like number 14, Sammy Voss. The JV quarterback gets to come in and taste a little bit of the glory of Friday Night Lights as he's going to run this offense, which is going to have a lot of JV players on it. There are a couple of varsity players that still maybe haven't had their share of opportunities to catch the ball. I see number 7, Hendrick Creek, and I see number 1, Kevin Crefting. And Sam passes over there to number 21, Austin Bell, and he brings the ball down to about the 7-yard line there, John, and a great play from Sam Voss. You know, Sam is getting some valuable experience tonight. Under the lights, playing with some guys, some varsity guys, playing with some JV guys, playing against a hungry defense. Even though Taylor's out of this, they don't want us to score, so they're doing everything they can to stop us. Sam's got to be on his A game.
No question about it. This is excellent, like you said, excellent opportunity for these young kids to be able to play under the lights. Big crowd. That's what it's all about.
55-0 here with 8 minutes left in this homecoming game for Indian Hill, as Sam Voss, number 14, puts Adam Bell, number 21, in motion. And Adam's going to swing around the corner, and he's going to get in for a touchdown.
Way to go, Adam.
That's Austin Bell, 21,
Austin.
not Adam Bell. Adam scores enough touchdowns on his own, and Austin in his own right comes in there and scores and does a great job and shows you a little bit of speed there on the outside, John.
No question about it. Great play call, good run, touchdown.
And, John, the crowd is now starting to chant Masali, Masali, Masali. As they want Masali out there, they want to see if he can run the ball like he did 25 years ago.
Just give me my walker.
And he says he can't go out without his walker. Logan Corman, once again,
Nice kick.
rings true, John. 8 out of 9 tonight. He's done a great job kicking and really having a fantastic evening.
He has had a great evening, like you say. When you can put 8 of those through on any Friday night under the lights, you've done a job.
Not being a kicker, not really knowing anything about it, John. You know, on a normal night, he might kick 10 kicks. He's kicked 20 kicks tonight, maybe 25. Don't know if his leg's going to be sore tomorrow.
This kid, I don't know what the record, but he's got to be getting close. I mean, that's pretty awesome for him.
The kickoff team now making their way out onto the field again, John. Still a couple of varsity players, a couple more JV players are making their way out. 28, Bill Thomas, who's been out a couple of times tonight, getting some good yardage. Number 38, Combs, is back out there. We got Wally Morris still out there. Jeremy Dollins out there. Teddy's out there. 45 is Mick Thomas. 24, Jay Schroeder. 49, Jake Thomas. Number 3 for Indian Hill is Mark Lubitz. This ball goes to number 20, Warren, and he just can't get back past that 20-yard line, John, as he does everything he can, but the Braves are doing a great job of staying in their lanes. That's the one thing they teach you on special teams on the kickoff, is you must stay in your lanes. Warren did that a great job.
At home, they'll be able to see it. They have Teddy on this kickoff, and he goes down and just misses this kid. The whole host of Braves get him. Teddy's behind him. He takes his hand and pounds it on the ground.
Okay, John,
He's
we got
competitive.
a bunch of substitutions now on the defensive side of the ball. I just saw number 7, Hendrick Creek came in. Scherzie's in. My Andy's still in. Number 37, I'm going to have to get his name. I don't have him on my roster, is in on this first down play. Over to the left, 28, Youngblood makes his way to the outside and breaks it big, John, as he gets a gain of about 10, 12 yards there. Tip your hat to that Cameron Youngblood. He's not giving up.
No question about it. That's tough when you look at that score and you've still got to come out and keep playing. But that's what it's all about. You've got to keep pounding. And again, when you got to remember Youngblood. I'm not sure if he's a senior or junior or how old he is, but we've got an awful lot of young kids in there right now. So there's no way he wants to get beat by a bunch of young kids.
Howie Zufli, the senior, is also in, John. He's been battling all year to get more playing time, has really been doing a good job when they call his number. He's in at safety, and that first down play turns into a first down failure, and 2nd down and 10 now for Taylor, as 4:24 is all that remains between staying out on the field here at Tomahawk Stadium and the long bus ride home.
It's a long way over
county.
there. You got it. But again, what a game plan the Indian Hill offense and defense has come with today. They definitely came to play ball. You and I watched a couple weeks ago when we were playing Reading, and we thought how down we were. And I don't think our team and the coaches sure aren't going to let us take anybody for granted anymore.
62-0, John. Got a big game next week on the road at Finneytown, and even though Finneytown is having some problems this year, they still get fired up whenever they have the opportunity
Finneytown's always got some fast ball players, and as we know, when you go out on the football field, you got to play football, and speed can hurt you. So we've got to come with our A game again.
23, Andy Prem made that tackle, John. 3rd down and 7. 3:24 to go and counting for Taylor. Number 5 is Schweiker at the quarterback. He's got 28, Youngblood in the backfield. And 28 is able to make his way to the outside, John, and that was a mistake as he got bolstered over down there on the right-hand side of the field. It's going to be 3rd down and very, very long, 4th down and very long, rather. And we'll have to see what Taylor decides to do here. Looks like they're going to punt, and number 23, Andy Prem, back deep to receive this punt.
How about a run back here, Mr. Prem?
Here we go.
I kick because I love catch it thing. Nice job, Prem.
And Andy does the right thing, John, as that ball squiggling on the ground. They're trying to preserve the shutout, and you don't want to make a mistake that could potentially disrupt that. You don't want to be the guy that's known for giving up the points that kept us from having the shutout.
No, as you know, as soon as you touch the ball's live there. So Yellow Jackets got a long way to go here with less than 2 minutes. And what a decisive game the Indian Hill's done today.
1:45 to go, clock running. Sam Voss, the quarterback, gets his offensive unit set. Sam's going to play. He takes the ball and hands off. No, he fakes it and does a great job on a fake, and he's able to bust it out. It's got a couple guys to beat, and John, the old holding flag comes out as the refs feel like somebody on the Indian Hill side helped Sam Voss break that big.
Sam has great wheels. The kid can throw. I watched him in over the spring or over summer, but he's got great speed. Both of our backup quarterbacks, both Sams, and great run by Sam. Even though they're bringing it back, Dave, there's less than a minute in the game now.
John, this brings back memories for me as now number 15, Chase Farmer, the talented freshman quarterback, makes his way out to get a little taste of Friday Night Lights.
That is big time, buddy. That's neat. His parents got to be proud of him.
Number 27, Colin Hill, comes out for his turn at Immortality. And
hope he gets off a play here, because it'd be neat to be able to get him a little one play in the Big Ten.
And I said number 15, Chase was coming out to replace Sam. Sam's still out. Chase is coming out to catch that touchdown.
There you go. That'll be
Sam.
Icing on the cake.
The handoff instead up the middle to the Energizer Bunny, Reed Lockwood, who keeps going and going and going, John. And that's going to be the game as time runs out on the Taylor Yellow Jackets here at Tomahawk Stadium on this beautiful homecoming night for the Braves. Couldn't have written a better script, John, for a game. Got a lot of guys some opportunities to play. We got another big win in the CHL. We are 4-0 now in the CHL. We've improved our record to 5-2 overall. Like I said, we got a big game next week at Finneytown. Of course, we've got our game coming up in 2 weeks at Deer Park against Deer Park. Your boys, the Wildcats, down there at Paul Brown Stadium. And then the final game, senior night, it's going to be a tough game for you and I to watch. The last time our kids are going to be on this field against Wyoming. Hopefully, we'll see more Braves action on this TV network. But for right now, John, we're going to watch these kids as they're congratulating one another. We're going to watch this fireworks display. It's been real fun, buddy. Until next time, I'll see you.
Dave, it's been a pleasure, buddy. Thank you so much.
Class of 1986 rules.